Open your mind.
Hey out there, this is Buzz with TheSurvivalBuzz. So it seems the algorithms are forever not in my favor lately. My views have gone to total crap. I'm not getting any new subscribers. I'm kind of on that trend again of, I gain 6 or 7 and lose 4 or 5. So it feels like I'm really spinning my wheels and getting nowhere. And also, it seems like the more I try to censor myself, the more I feel like I can't get my message across. And I'm really losing patience to the point that I honestly don't care. So I figured I'd do a fun video today and just not really give a crap if I get a strike or whatever. Because at this point, does it really even matter? I thought about starting a Patreon, but honestly, I don't feel like I have enough followers at this point to follow me over there. As well as, I don't like charging for this. Donations are accepted, but I didn't get on here to make money. I got on here to just talk and spread messages and maybe intrigue other people to do a little bit more research on certain topics. But like I said, it's getting harder to censor and watch what I say on here. So I don't care anymore. Hence today's video. I want to do a video, and I've done a video on everyday carry before, but that was before everything's gotten as hectic and crazy as it has. That was over a year ago. And now with all this possible terror, even here in the United States, seems like the new world we live in is a little bit crazier than it was a few years ago. So I figured I'd do an everyday carry of what I carry. And granted, this may not be for everybody. If you live in a big city, maybe this isn't for you. But this is what I roll with every day. And also 90% of the time, if I'm not working, I'm at home. So I don't really get out much. So these are items that I'm able to carry every day. Being an armed security guard, I have body armor, my weapons, handcuffs, extra mags, batons, on and on and on. I have lots of gear at my disposal, probably more than the normal person walking around, but I try to use it to my advantage. But this particular setup I'm going to show you today doesn't necessarily have to be for somebody that's in the security industry or a police officer or whatever. These are things that I feel like everybody could acquire and carry as long as you don't live in a real blue big city. So here goes it. First off, I carry this everywhere with me anymore, 90% of the time. If I'm here in town, in my small town, I'm going to the grocery store, I'm armed with something concealed and a little bit smaller, but I'm not very far from home. This is basically my everyday carry get home bag for the crazy new world that we live in. And before I start showing you everything with that, also when I'm at work, I carry this here, Glock 22. I'm kind of partial to 40 Smith & Wesson. Some people prefer 9mm. Rounds are a little bit cheaper. This has a little bit more stopping power. So this is the setup I've gone with. So I have that on my hip every day when I'm in the big city, as well as 2 extra mags of this. So I have 45 rounds on me at all times, right on my person. And then the everyday carry get home bag, which I carry on my person. First off, you want a good medical kit, just the basics, at least to stop a gunshot wound or help prevent bleed out from a gunshot wound. So you can keep it simple or you can go all out. My kit's pretty basic. I have some chest seals, some combat gauze, compressed bandage, and some shears, and of course a cat tourniquet. So I have that at all times. If you can shoot somebody, you should be able to take care of it if you get shot. All right, let's see what else we got in here. So along with my sidearm, this I want to show you today. This is where I feel like the importance of pistol carbines come in. This by no means is my go-to combat weapon, if it were to that, but it's practical. It folds up. I think it's like 16.5 inches maybe folded up. Fits right in a bag like this that I can carry on my person. Nobody's none the wiser. And it interchanges with my Glock, with my pistol set up on my hip. I'm not going to interchange mags and all of that. Even though I don't really give a damn at the moment, I'm going to try to censor the best I can. And from my understanding, YouTube has a tendency to censor a little bit more and ban things. You start interchanging mags and cock and stuff. So this is what I carry. This is a sub 2000 in 40 Smith & Wesson. It takes the Glock mags like are on my hip. The ones on my hip will go in it. As well as I carry 2 of these. These are the Glock brand. You can get the 30 round mags that are an off brand or name brand, but not Glock brand. I buy the Glock brand because it's reliable and it hasn't failed me yet. So this is a 22 round mag. I have 2 of these as well as an extra 100 rounds in my bag with me. It's not too ungodly heavy carrying all this stuff. I don't know, gun, ammo, and everything. I'm probably looking at an extra 12 or 15 pounds I'm carrying along with me, but this is my get home. Like I said, this is by no means a battle weapon, but it's practical. I can carry it with me, and with as much ammo and stuff as I have, as well as wearing body armor on me, I feel like I should at least be able to get home with this. So this unload opens up like this. You can get these out the door, shoot right out of the box. Never had any problems with them for around the $400 range. If you're super thrifty, look around, look for good sales. Maybe even this time of year, you might get closer to the $300 range. That's closer to where it was at when I bought it, but that was pre-pandemic. So, and like I said, you can shoot it right out of the box. A few things with these Keltecs. This is the Keltec sub 2000 and 40 Smith & Wesson. You can get it in the 9mm, which would work better for somebody that's not in security industry. You could carry a Glock 19, the 9mm, easily concealed, and have this in a backpack as well. The 40 Smith & Wesson is a little bit harder to get hold of, honestly, right now. You can find the 9s all over the place, but this one's honestly kind of hard to find. But it's the platform I started with and the platform I'm going with. And like I said, having that little bit of extra stopping power sure does help. So you can shoot it out of the box. A few of the things I've done. There's a recoil buffer in this bolt tube here. It helps cut back on the recoil a lot. Not that it has a lot to begin with, being a handgun round. This can get rather uncomfortable on the cheek. So I have this little rubber pad here, as well as a sling attachment here. I don't have the sling on it right now. And I have this mag pull handpiece right here. Makes it a little bit more comfortable to shoot. And I have the aluminum sights, aftermarket sights I bought. This one comes with plastic ones, and not that you can't shoot it, but they are just a hair shorter, which makes you hug down a little bit more, and it makes your shots just a little bit more off. If you wanted to get one of these and shoot it right out of the box and wanted to know what upgrades you should do, I would honestly say the best upgrades you could do would be this for your cheek and the taller aluminum sights. And this baby's ready to rock and roll. I haven't done a trigger job on it, but you can do that as well. Not that I'm advocating for them, but there's a company called M Carbo that makes an ungodly amount of parts for these things, and they're fairly cheap. Altogether, I might have about $600 in mine with the sling and everything. So it's fairly inexpensive. And like I said, all of this, mag-wise, interchanges with this. So you can see how that would be to an advantage. It's not superior firepower, but it's definitely better than just having a handgun on you if you have the capability of carrying something like this around with you. So I highly suggest it if you have the funds. It's not ungodly expensive, and even though they have mixed reviews, I can tell you firsthand, after firing hundreds of rounds out of this thing, I've never had one issue with it. All right. So as you can see, that's an everyday carry for the crazy world we're living in. Now that doesn't include everyday items that you should probably carry part of an everyday normal carry. I mean, just offhand, up close and personal right there, as well as the ability to cut things if I'm trying to get home and I'm a long ways from home. One of these things goes a long way. Always have it on your person. And I carry another knife with me, has multiple blades. You can never have too many knives on you, honestly. And I'm not going to go through every item in my everyday carry as far as what I have in my truck and my carry on my person in my cargo pockets, but it doesn't hurt to have some type of food with you, just enough to get you home. Beef jerky, nuts, those are things that I tend to stick with. You know, they don't melt in the heat. They're good for a long time, and they provide a lot of calories and protein. So just the things I'm carrying with me every day. And in the crazy world we're living in, I would highly suggest looking over your defensive plan on your everyday carry, because I don't feel like we're up against everyday normal terms nowadays. So God bless y'all, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Later.